Shedeur is going to start Friday night. Browns at Panthers. Now, Shedeur.
Big opportunity, huge opportunity, and more importantly, show that he can run and manage this offense.
This NFL offseason has been wild. Huge trade demands, massive contract extensions, and blockbuster free agent signings that could flip the entire league upside down. But through all of that noise, no one's been talked about more since February than Shedeur Sanders. As most of you know by now, Shedeur slid all the way to the 5th round of the NFL draft after being projected as a top 3 pick for most of the offseason. And to make matters worse, he landed in quarterback purgatory, drafted by the Cleveland Browns at pick number 144. After months of speculation about what disaster or miracle the Browns would pull with their QB room, we finally have clarity, and it's all falling squarely on Shedeur Sanders' shoulders. Before we dive in, we're giving away multiple copies of Madden 26 to subscribers who turn on notifications for this channel. The same giveaway is running on my Instagram. Just tell me your console, and winners will be announced every week on my IG story. Now, Shedeur finally has a clear path to an NFL roster spot. And here's where it gets messy, because right before week 1 of the preseason, Kevin Stefanski dropped a bomb. We got a game Friday night coming up, some players will play, and we'll start Shedeur at quarterback. Just like that, Sanders was named the starting QB for that game. And this might just be the single biggest chance of Shedeur Sanders' career. But let's be honest, he's lucky to even be here, and I'll explain why. On Monday, August 4th, the Browns dropped their first official depth chart for the 2025 season, and it was worse news than Shedeur expected. Cleveland listed veteran Joe Flacco as QB1. No shock there, but as Shedeur's own father might say, Flacco has had his moments for the Browns and is the only true veteran presence in a QB room that desperately needs stability. Then came former first-round pick Kenny Pickett as the backup, which made sense. He's the only other quarterback in the room with NFL game experience besides Flacco, so it's basically his job to lose. But in reality, during training camp and OTAs, the real fight wasn't for QB1 or QB2, it was for QB3. And the big question was whether Cleveland would give that spot to their 5th-round rookie Shedeur Sanders or their 3rd-round rookie Dillon Gabriel. 4 reasons that still make zero sense. Cleveland drafted both Gabriel and Sanders in the 2025 NFL Draft, with Gabriel being one of 5 QBs taken ahead of a guy once projected as a first-rounder. And looking back now, it's laughable, because every report out of Browns camp says Shedeur is 10 times the quarterback Dillon Gabriel is. Yet somehow, Cleveland handed Gabriel the QB3 job, leaving Sanders buried at QB4. And that decision only fueled more outrage from the football community. Mainly because, like I said earlier, Shedeur Sanders has been lighting it up all training camp, and the stats back it up. Over the first 9 Browns practices, Joe Flacco went 54 for 92, a 58.7% completion rate, with 3 touchdowns and 0 picks. Kenny Pickett had a smaller sample, 23 for 34, a 67.6% completion rate, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Solid numbers, and both of those guys were basically locked into their depth chart spots from the start. But the real controversy shows up when you put Shedeur Sanders' numbers next to Dillon Gabriel's. Gabriel got a mountain of reps, 113 pass attempts, but only completed 62 of them for a weak 54.9% completion rate, with 4 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Meanwhile, Shedeur shredded defenses, 49 for 70, a 70% completion rate, 6 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. 0. And yet somehow, Cleveland still handed Gabriel the QB3 job. It's a complete joke. Honestly, I doubt it lasts long. Sanders now gets a shot to prove his worth against the Panthers, but let's be real. This shot only came because both Kenny Pickett and Dillon Gabriel picked up practice injuries. 4 months after suffering one of the biggest draft slides in recent memory, Shedeur Sanders has lucked his way into starting a preseason game, and this could be his last chance to convince the Browns coaches he belongs. The fact that Shedeur Sanders was slapped with a QB4 label after being the best quarterback in Browns training camp proves there was never any real quarterback battle to begin with. The decision was made the second the draft ended. This is a guy who was one of the best quarterbacks in all of college football last year. There's a reason he was projected as a first-round pick on draft night. His talent is undeniable. Yes, there have been some off-the-field controversies involving both him and his father, but none of that has followed him since entering the NFL. The only headlines about Shedeur Sanders have been about how dominant he's looked, and how little faith Kevin Stefanski and the Browns actually have in him. To prove my point, just look at what this guy can do. Shedeur might be the smartest and most accurate quarterback to come out of the 2025 draft, and NFL fans are about to witness it firsthand after years of him doing it in college. Here's an example. Colorado lines up in 11 personnel, with all but one weapon stacked wide to the left. TCU sends a 3-man blitz at the snap, with the wide side blitzer looping around to exploit Colorado's awful O-line. Shedeur sees it instantly, rolling out left before the pressure even arrives, because he already knows what's coming. Goodell left without taking any questions. A sign the NFL is gearing up for a legal fight, not a back and forth with the media. The Sanders family remains quiet, while fans are split. Some believe this is a targeted attack, others think it's just another PR stunt. One thing's certain, this controversy is only getting started. Subscribe to our channel for the latest updates, exclusive insights, and full coverage of the story as it unfolds.